G'day so-and-sos and welcome to my sewing room. My name's Kathy and today I wanted to talk about interfacing. So with bag making, I use a lot of iron-on interfacing and I use all different types. And I'm in Australia, so when I say, I'm using buckram from Spotlight, then you might not have that in your area because I know a lot of people watching are from the US, the UK, and all around the world really. So what I'm hoping with this video is, well, I'm going to go through some different type of interfacing, what they are, what they look like, what they feel like, and what I've used them for. And I'm really hoping that then you guys will say something in the comments about what you have in your area that is similar or that you've used in place of this when you've been making some of the bags that I've done videos on, so that then other people can have a look at those comments and use it as a resource of what they could try to use. So let's have a look at some of this interfacing. The first interfacing I want to talk about is called buckram. Now I get this from Spotlight in Australia, and I don't know if you guys have buckram available in any of your, Joann's or any of that sort of type of stuff that you have overseas. So let me know in the comments if you do, or if you have something similar. Now buckram is a medium iron-on interfacing and it's got a weave in it, so it's not stiff like cardboard or paper. It's actually a little bit flexible when it goes on, and it's got that weave that you can sort of see like you'd see in fabric. I love using this stuff because it has a lot of structure. It holds really, really well. So I've used buckram in this bag, and the reason I used buckram in this one is because this bag curves around on itself. So it's got buckram, but it's also got Decovil, which I'll talk about in a minute. But this allows it to sort of curve without creasing, if that makes sense. And how cute is this bag? If you haven't made this bag yet, go and check out the video. It's so damn cute. So yeah, I really like using buckram, especially in bags that have curve or are domed. So if you have something similar in your area, pop down a link in the comments so that other people can find this one. Okay, let's look at the next one. This is another one that I use a lot of. This is a fusible foam. So it's really quite squishy. It's a foam and it's iron-on, which is just really good. It holds onto fabric really well, but vinyl is a whole other issue. So I've used foam in this one, and you might recognize this bag as a Sunshine Crossbody. This isn't one of my patterns, but I do have a tutorial up on it, and it's a free pattern. I think I'll put it up on the screen because I don't want to say the wrong designer. So the foam just gives the bag a lot of firmness, but we're still keeping it soft, so it's not stiff, so it's sort of squishy. So when you have it on your hip, you're not worried about squishing it. So with the Mogwai one that I just showed you, it's one that you carry by the handle, so you're carrying it next to you and popping it down and whatever, so you're not worried about squishing it. So with that round dome shape and that stiffer buckram, that works really well. If you're making a bag that's going to be sitting on your hip or on your side and your arm's going to be coming down over it, foam is a really good way to go. Now saying that, this one is also lined with buckram. So it's got buckram and then it's got foam. But it's such a little bag that, it works. But have a think about that. So this one is a little bit bigger and it's a shoulder bag. So the foam in it works well because it'll sort of squish a little bit if it needs to, but it'll also bounce back and hold its shape. If your bag does get a little bit squished, then using these type of interfacing, you can just give your bag a hit with the iron and it'll come back into shape really well. So on this one as well, the first thing that I did was lined it with a light interfacing, a light iron-on interfacing. Now, sorry, this is a bit of a dog's breakfast because I've cut bits out of it, but I didn't want to chop it up anymore. But yeah, this is a light interfacing, and I use this for all of my lining pieces as well. So I use it for my lining, but I used it on the outside of this one before I put the foam on, just to keep those edges from fraying, give it a little bit of firmness underneath that foam as well. So if you don't have this particular fusible foam in your area, then again, if you have something that you like using, pop a link down in the comments for other people to find, and make sure that you tag in, like you put what area that you're in as well. Okay, let's look at the next one. This is another one that I really enjoy using, and it's cheap as well. Now, these ones, when I say these, it's because it's got different levels of firmness, are from Lincraft in Australia, and it's only, like, I think when it's on sale, it's under $2 a metre, which is just amazing. So it's more of a cardboardy, can you hear that? So it's quite stiff. It's more like a paper cardboard type feel to it. It doesn't have the same weave as buckram, so it's a little bit stiffer as well. And like I said, it's from Lincraft, which is another fabric store in Australia. And it comes in medium and heavy. So it's a couple of different weights, which is really good. Now, I made these Valentine's Day gift bags out of this because I wanted these to be quite stiff and firm and to stand up on their own. And then we've got these really sharp corners that we've top stitched down to give that shape to it. And we want it to be strong as well. And this will really reinforce your fabric and give it that strength as well as that firmness to it. So when you are making stuff like this for markets or something like that to sell, if you want to start selling your stuff, then using something like this, which when it's on sale, I think it was like $1.79 or something a metre, is a lot more cost effective than buckram, which is usually around the $37 a metre, I think, which is really bloody expensive at the moment. It's actually on sale at the moment. Today is, I think, the 10th of February. Spotlight's having a sale. So if it's still on, go and check and have a look. It's down to maybe $27 a metre. But I only buy that stuff now when it's on sale. And I will usually, if I need to buy something else, I will do a click and collect order on whatever else I need. So I get the $5 voucher for the click and collect. Then I'll go in store, buy the buckram on sale, and use the $5 voucher just to bring it down a little bit more, because otherwise it just ends up being too expensive. But this stuff is really good for stuff like that, and I have used it in some bags as well. Okay, let's look at the next one. Now this next one, I've got a few different types of. Now it's fusible fleece. I really love fusible fleece because it's very versatile in how you can fold the bag still and work it. Now, as an example, I've made this one using fusible fleece as the interfacing, and have a look at the sides and the front of it. Now this is made all from one rectangle of fabric that's then folded up and top stitched. So it's not a whole heap of pieces put together. And the fusible foam has allowed me to do that and create that shape without it wrinkling or, bunching up too much on itself or anything like that. And then I've used it in this one as well, which has allowed the bag to have that nice open round shape. Now I designed this to be able to take to markets, to be able to buy all your bits and pieces and jams and honeys and breads and whatever, and throw it all in there nice and easily. So it's got a slip pocket and stuff like that on the inside as well. But it has like just such great shape. I mean, it's a big bag and it's able to sit up on its own and still have that little bit of padding, of protection for whatever you put in there if you are buying, things like jams and stuff like that, or honey. Honey is big in my household. I don't like it, it's bee vomit, it's just weird. But anyway, so yeah, fusible fleece is great. So this one is from Spotlight and it's called Fusible Interfacing Padded. So it's really, really light. This one is super light and super soft. It's nice, but again, Spotlight's a little bit expensive. And then I've been getting a couple of different ones from Temu, and they have different weights. So this one is more of a light one, and then that one's a medium one. And then I've had some that are quite heavy and dense as well. They seem to be really good. And I think that was around $8 for a packet, and it's got a couple of meters in there. So it's cost effective, which is good, especially when I'm doing this and making so many bags and, you know, a couple of bags in a week. So it is good. It's probably the same as what you buy in the shops in Australia, but I'm just, you know, a little bit dubious about what's in the fabric and the process of making it and the chemicals and the glue and stuff like that. But I'm probably just being stupid because it's probably exactly the same as what I'm buying in the fabric shop. So if you're having a look, then yeah, it's worthwhile getting. It's cheap and effective. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, next one, Decovil. I love Decovil. So in Australia, I get this from voodoorabbit.com.au. They're really good. It's, well, it used to be around $20 a metre, but I think it's actually gone up a little bit. So again, have a look around and see if you can find it somewhere on sale. And if you have it in your country or something similar or equivalent, pop a link down in the comments so people can find it a little bit easier. So Decovil comes in Decovil Heavy and then Decovil Light. And there is quite a significant difference between the two. I'm not sure if they have any other weights. If you know or if you've seen it, then again, let us know. So Decovil is almost like a leather, especially the Decovil Heavy is almost leather-like. So Decovil Heavy I usually use in the base of bags, especially when I'm using purse feet, because it just adds that firmness and strength and holds your bag up really well. It can be a little bit hard to sew through, so you don't want to get it in your seams, especially if you have a domestic machine. So I'll pop that one down out of the way, but I do love it. And then Decovil Light, I use to help create shape and to hold shape. So I'm pretty sure it's in this one, but I'm not sure. This is, I think, the Erica Bowler, not my design. So I'm pretty sure that I've used it in the front panel and also in this panel here. And it's got a piece in it, like probably around that big. And it just holds the bag up and helps to stop it flopping. It stops to help it, that squish, or helps it bounce back if we do squish it as we're carrying it as well. And then in this one, I've used it as a panel here and then a couple little panels in here. Now in here especially, and this is one that I designed, this especially in here, I think is where the Decovil Light really, you know, is worth it because it stops it sort of squishing. I just keep saying squishing. Stops it squishing, but holds that shape really nicely. And yeah, I mean, it's just such a beautiful shape. It's also got a little bit in the bottom as well, I think. So Decovil, you really want to keep out of the seams. And something that I've found with it is that you can iron it on, but then when you're turning your bag out, you have to be really careful because the fabric will just peel away from it because it goes so stiff, especially when you iron it on. It's almost like it sets and goes a little bit, not harder, but firmer, maybe. If you've used it, you'll know what I mean. So then when you're turning your bag in and out and you're squishing it up, it can sort of peel away. So then you have to stick your iron back in the bag after it's birthed and just sort of iron it back into place as you do that. But yeah, definitely worthwhile getting. Great stuff. If you've got something similar or if you've used something similar, then let us know. So there's most of the interfacing that I use. If you do use anything else, especially for bag making, then let me know because it would be fun to try out a few different things and see what works for what type of bag. Now, just something a little bit further on the foam that I talked about, I said that it was great for fabric, but not so great for vinyl. And the reason for that is when you are interfacing vinyl, and you can interface vinyl if you're careful, you need to lay the vinyl right side down, so pretty side down, so the back of the vinyl is facing up. Place your interfacing on top of that and then very carefully iron it on. Now that works well for me for using buckram or Decovil or anything like that if you're careful. But with the foam, you just can't penetrate that much foam with that much heat to get it to stick. The glue will be underneath. So if I place my vinyl right sides down, I then place the foam on top of that glue side down, then I have to get enough heat on top of the back of the foam to get through the layer, melt the glue and adhere it to the vinyl. And it just doesn't work. So I use that foam in the Sunshine crossbody that I showed you, and the Sunshine crossbody has foam down the sides. Oh, sorry, it has vinyl panels down the, I'll just get it. Easier than describing it, isn't it, Catherine? Jeez, okay. So when I put the foam on this one, the foam is the size of that whole panel. I adhere it through the fabric onto the fabric bit, but then these bits are then sort of floppy and hanging and not attached. So I then just baste it down on the sides on that vinyl. So you can sort of even see, like, you know, the fabric there is attached to interfacing, where the vinyl, it's just sort of sitting on top of the interfacing and it's sewn on around the outside, although it does have buckram on it, which definitely helps. So with that foam, it's really, really hard, or near impossible really, to get it to adhere to vinyl, but you can just baste it down around the edges if you want to, and it's really good to use that interfacing on the back of it as well. So I really hope that we can get a thread going, because that would be really cool, a really great resource for people to use, you know, if they pop on here looking how to use interfacing, and they can look down in the comments and find something similar in their area. That would just be really cool. And I know it's going to take some time, but you know, we've all got time. So anyway, I hope you learned something new. I hope it's given you a few ideas, and I would love it if you gave me some ideas as well. Okay, peeps, have a great day. Remember, it's only fabric. You deserve it. Go and buy some. See ya. Bugger.